Hey, this is Mark with the Practical Still. We're going to open up one of these bottles. I just want to talk about Dickel. I like Dickel whiskey. I know it's polarizing. I know some people just don't like it. I know some people say it tastes like Flintstone vitamins. But I also know that an awful lot of really expensive bottles were sourced from Cascade Hollow in Tullahoma, Tennessee at Dickel. So if you tell me you don't like Dickel whiskey, but you paid $200 for a Sweetens Cove, guess what? You bought some Dickel whiskey. If you tell me you don't like Dickel whiskey, but you routinely buy barrel bourbon, there's a good chance you're buying some Dickel whiskey. I just want you to taste it because I think it's delicious. And these 15-year-old single barrels represent an amazing value at about $60, maybe $65, depending on the store. These are 5 different stores' single barrels. They range in proof very widely from around 84 to around 100, and I think 104 is the highest one of these, 104 point something. And I can't find any information on what proof Dickel puts the whiskey in the barrel at. And I went on the tour once or twice, they don't mention it. So, but given that the highest of these is around 104 and the highest I've seen is about 106, I'm thinking they go in pretty low, which is one of my things. I like low barrel entry proof. I think that makes a better mouthfeel whiskey coming out the other end. But come on, 15-year-old whiskey, $60, and the fun of store picks? That's hard to beat. I'm going to open this one. And the reason I'm going to open this one is it's kind of in the middle. So it's 46.7%. And Dickel, they don't use the E because George thought his whiskey stood up to the best of that from Scotland, and they didn't use an E. And so they also tend to lean towards percentages instead of proofs, but that's, 93.4 proof. Kind of in the middle. I've had a few of these already. They're all really good. Don't lose the neck tag. That's the only thing that tells you which store is which. Now I don't know which store that came from, but that's more of a me buying whiskey problem than anything else. Oh, man. Now, people talk about, particularly my friend Dan, talks about the Dickel funk. And look, it just tastes different than a lot of whiskeys. I know that can be polarizing, but I think it varies from people that talk about whiskey. Some people say that Dickel funkiness is still there at 15 years old, and it is. I happen to think it's muted. I think at 15 years old, the effect of the barrel mutes some of that Dickel funkiness that comes from the way they distill whiskey, the mash bill, the Lincoln County process. So even if you don't necessarily like that Dickel funk, even if you've had some of the hand select 9-year-old barrels and thought they were still a little off, give this a shot. I think the extra time in the barrel offsets or mutes some of that funkiness, but it's just delicious whiskey, and I can't wait because normally I'm all about the mouthfeel. This stuff just coats the palate, oh, so well. Yeah. Not as viscous as some, but just delicious. I'm going to say it's a little bit of a short finish. Normally these finishes go forever. I need to give it a little more time, but that is a burst of fruit across the tongue. It's got the nuttiness you expect from Dickel. Yeah, the finish is still going. Not quite as pronounced as some. I'll tell you what, one of my favorite bottles ever is one of the visits to the distillery. I bought a 9-year-old hand select that the staff selected themselves. Probably still one of my top 3 bottles. Maybe I've built it up over time, but gosh, it was good. These are just delicious. This is really good. I've got a few of them. I'd encourage you to give it a shot. Have you had them? Are you a Dickel fan or you not? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, cheers.